What are the very first impressions that you get? Where are you?
I'm looking at Thoth.
Mm-hmm.
I know Thoth.
Yes.
And he's got somebody on like a bed or a slab. And he's got these sort of crystal bars.
Mm-hmm.
And he's beaming like these colours through these bars down at the person's body. He changes the bars, and then light comes through the other bars. It's like a sort of a machine.
Right.
And it's like, this is one of his special machines. He's healing this person.
Do you know who the person is?
Well, it looks like, I'm not sure if it's healing, maybe seems like it's awakening them to something. It's one of his initiates from the mystery schools. Okay. And he's putting in these bars and he's beaming these lights on the different areas of their bodies.
Interesting. And where is this taking place? Is this in a inside or outside?
It's inside.
Okay.
It's in a room.
Okay, and what do you notice in the room?
There's some things here. There's some different healing implements and his little bits and bobs. Oh, he's an alchemist.
Oh, okay.
He's got some different things in jars. I know because this is when I was in Egypt at the time. I'm in my higher self. Well, the being that I used to be. This is her, and she's just in this room with him. There's some more people waiting outside the door to have this procedure done. And he's doing it to a few of his initiates for the mystery schools, in the mystery school. I was involved with this.
Tell me about that.
I was involved in his mystery schools. And Thoth was from Atlantis. Well, he had a long life there. And then he decided he was a hybrid being, a hybrid extraterrestrial and human sort of being. He has long black hair in this. He doesn't look like an ibis head thing. That's what I have to let you know. He just looks like a man. He's an attractive man.
Okay.
And he's wearing a sort of like an Egyptian sort of kilt type of thing.
And so what is in the jars when he does the alchemy? Is there anything specific that he puts in the jars?
And there's different plants in here.
Okay.
And he has chunks of metals and various elements. And then some elements that do not exist anymore.
That's interesting. And is this to help heal people or awaken?
This is advanced magic that he uses this for. Psychic energies go into these.
Oh, okay.
And then he puts these various elements together and then adds the psychic energy. And this is what creates the alchemy.
Interesting. And so, what did you do in the mystery schools?
Well, I was Thoth's teacher as well. I was teaching him things.
What kind of things?
How to connect with his heart. I was teaching him how to become an angel, an angelic being. He wanted to know the things that I knew.
Interesting. Tell me more about that.
Well, I got him to. We're sitting there and we're meditating, and I share some of my energies with him. I share them with him. We are connected with each other. He's here right now, in this room as well. We loved each other.
Okay. Have you been kind of divine counterparts or something similar to that?
No, that's a polar.
Okay.
But
So
I also had a relationship with this being.
Okay. So tell me more about the mystery schools, because I'm actually really interested in hearing about that.
Well, there was many things that were taught. This was the preservation of knowledge from Atlantis, of course.
Yes.
But also from other times and from other civilizations that have been on Earth and civilizations outside of Earth.
What did these mystery schools look like? And was there more than one? Or was it kind of all over the place?
Well, we traveled.
Okay.
We traveled to here and there to bring the teachings. But a lot of these were in Egypt.
Yeah.
A lot of these, they were underneath the pyramids of the time. They were in underground areas.
Are they still there today, or have they been?
No, these areas have they're caved in. They're not there anymore.
Okay.
The schools are caved in.
So they're not there anymore. What happened to them?
Well, some of them naturally sort of decayed.
Oh, okay.
They just sort of collapsed in on themselves. But also, there was divine intervention to collapse them in because the Dark Ones could not know of this.
Okay.
They would not be able to know of these teachings.
What would happen if they knew?
They would be able to change the timelines.
Okay.
More so than they can now. They would be able to have more influence over this.
else can you tell me about the mystery schools? And also, who were involved? Could anyone join?
No, not everyone can join. They had to be vetted beforehand. And we had a process of elimination.
Okay, tell me about the process.
We would shine light onto their forms. Maybe this was what the light beam that Thoth was doing. Maybe it was to vet them.
Okay.
It was to see what was hidden within their fields. They were seeing what was hidden within their fields, and what their thoughts were. How big was the light within?
And did they have to kind of pass through initiations, or?
Yeah, they had to pass through various initiations.
Tell me about that.
Well, they had classes. Thoth had some preparing classes beforehand, where he would do things that would challenge their programming, and if they did not make the cut, sometimes they just walked out on their own because they were challenged from what he was saying.
Interesting.
And a lot of them just left on their own because the information was, they were not ready for it. So they often just left on their own accord if they could not deal with the rest of the knowledge.
And with the people that chose to stay, what was the next step for them?
They would go through, like, the word love comes to mind. They would have to go through an initiation of love. And it was, they put them, it's a little similar to this. It's a little similar to the quantum healing hypnosis, or like a rebirth sort of therapies. I just see them, he puts them in a chair or a bed, and we take the person to source somehow. We take their consciousness to source. And they're crying and shaking because it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And we hold their hand and then hold their head and guide the light in through them. And they're crying and shaking on the bed. And then they're very, we take them straight to there. And this is their initiation of love. And they're crying, and it's very, very beautiful. Sometimes they lose control of their bodies and like convulse as the energy comes through.
Yeah.
Sometimes they even wet themselves.
Yeah.
It's very, very intense. And all of the other, initiates and me and Thoth, when I was present, I wasn't always present for every sort of class, but I was involved with some of it. I saw this sometimes. But all of the other initiates are like holding their hand, and they're like sort of humming like a vibration, and the person is like convulsing and crying as source energy goes through them.
Wow, interesting. And then what happens next?
They return back to the body.
Okay.
And it's like a very, very, like almost like a rebirth.
Mm.
And I just see that they're in a dark place now for 3 days and nights, and then they're just in this place to just process what they've seen and heard and allow for. It's like a reset. They're resetting them back to the original. They're resetting them. This is the way that we reset them. Back to the original, because there's so much programming. There's so much programming that happens on the earth. So we use this to reset them back to the original, and then they're in the dark place. Well, it's not a dark place. There's lots of love in here. They just go to a quiet place, a very quiet place, and then absorb all that they've heard and seen.
Is that like a dark room that they go to on their own?
Yeah, it's not on their own. There's
okay.
there's other ones in there, and they're all in this room, and they're just all processing what they've seen and heard.
So how many people are in this mystery school or this group?
Look around, there's about 12 or 14.
Okay.
It's not that many of them in this one, but the class was bigger and smaller at different times.
Mm-hmm,
but this was how we removed all of this was how we sort of reset them back to where they needed to go before they would learn all of these teachings, was to go straight to source.
Really interesting. And so, what happens next after they've been reset?
Well, this is kind of like a baptism. They go into the water. They go into this beautiful water. This beautiful pool of water. I don't know where this is.
Is this in Egypt still?
Yeah, but they're like naked.
Mm-hmm.
They go into this water, and it's like almost like a baptism. Like, this practice has been around for like so long, longer than the Christian sort of. Yeah. Longer than Christian times, but this comes from this practice. Going back to source, and then you go into the dark room and absorb all of the information, allow all of the downloads to come in and reset your body completely. And then the first time you go out, you go into the water and immerse yourself completely in the water.
Interesting.
And just become one with this beautiful water. This is beautiful water that they're going through. And there's lots of lily pads and lotuses on them and dragonflies.
That sounds so beautiful.
And they're just swimming through this water, and it's like they're born again, like they're like a child, but in a good way.
Yeah.
And then they come out of the water, and they're naked, and then Thoth, they go up these steps. They go up these steps out of the water, climb out of the water up these steps. And then I see Thoth, he presents them with the robes. He presents them with robes. He clothes them again.
Okay. What color are the robes?
Thoth is wearing a pointy hat. And the robes are they are white. It kind of looks like it covers the shoulders. And he wraps these, it's kind of like a kimono type of a thing, like a dress.
Yeah.
And he wraps the belt around, and it's very beautiful.
It sounds very beautiful. And so what do these people now do with the teachings and the knowledge? Now that they've been initiated and they have been taught all this knowledge.
Well, this is just the beginning. They're not going to know the knowledge. This is at the beginning. This is what they have to do before they learn the knowledge.
So this is still the initiation.
Yeah, still the initiation.
Okay.
And then they go into, there's a little period of silence that they go into, where they just observe and, and they only are using telepathy. This comes to them through this. So everyone's telepathic.
Okay.
And this is how we teach the classes.
Interesting. So are you here now teaching this group?
No, I come from time to time.
Okay. So you kind of, when do you come? Do you just come when you feel like it, or is there a reason when you come?
Oh, Thoth lets me know when I have to come.
Okay.
He lets me know.
And what's the reason he wants you to come?
Because I teach certain things really well.
Okay, what are your specialities? What do you teach really well?
Well, I'm really good at the initiation where they go into source. I helped Thoth develop this one to the fullest so that they can go there and they can experience it and connect in with their hearts. So I'm like the heart teacher, and Thoth, he is like the teacher of the things to do with the psychic abilities. But I can do like manifesting and creation and things to do with love. I'm very, very skilled at this. We work together with this, and I feel like I've helped him develop some of these, the practice, the perfect practice for the classes.
Right.
We've worked together to develop this information.
Interesting. So is there like a specific technique that you have come up with and mastered?
Yes, I'm really, really good at connecting in with the higher self and connecting in with energies of pure ecstasy straight from source.
And that's kind of what you're doing now with quantum healing too.
Yeah, it's like it's the beginnings of it. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So is it gonna expand in the future?
Yeah, we're gonna bring back the teachings.
And who's gonna be the students?
Well, the light workers and people who visit me, they're going to be more drawn to these practices and knowledge. I feel like they're just at the very beginning with what they need to do to bring the knowledge back. And not everyone can know the knowledge, not everyone will be privy to the knowledge.
Yes.
But those who can carry the energies with grace, with the vibration that is needed, because you can't be in You can't be in a fear vibration when you are doing this. You need to go forth. You need to go forth with this love in your heart. And when these people are doing that, then they will start. We want to start with the teachings for these people who are going to spread this love energy and all of the things that they need to do to prepare them. There's two timelines now. There's the descending and there's the ascending one.
Yes. Tell me about that.
Well, the ones that are going on the ascending path are going to give them the teachings.
Yes.
The ways, like how he did it, but we're going to make it different this time for these times.
Mm-hmm. And will they be accessible to all those who are going on the ascending timeline?
Yes, I'm going to make them.
Okay.
I'm going to help to do this to make them available.
Beautiful. And what do you see for the descending timeline?
They just have their own shit that they gotta deal with.
Mm-hmm.
They'll deal with it in their own time. But we don't need to worry about them. They're gonna just deal with it in their own time. Some of them will definitely pass away and then incarnate on another physical Earth-like planet where they can deal with it. But there's a definite split now.
Yes. And is it already happening, that timeline split?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm guiding as many as I can to the ascending timeline. But I'm not going to look back because I have things to teach now.
Yes. Beautiful. So what else can you tell me about this ascending timeline?
Thoth is helping me with the process of helping people with the ascension.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a way shower, but the Elohim have always been way showers and helpers for humanity, as well as we got rid of things that we got rid of very negative forces. So we're doing that all over again.
Yes.
Showing the ways and then getting rid of any more darkness that is too overpowering. We're just tending to the garden and weeding it.
Mm-hmm. So tell me how the Elohim show the way. What do they do specifically? What are their skills?
We give a guiding hand, and we do the teachings and the ways. We provide activations and knowledge and clues. We have overseen many evolutions before. This process has happened so many times in this universe, in so many different places. I especially help to evolve, help all kinds of life forms to evolve. This is the process of evolution. We're like the evolution helpers, but we do so many other things as well.
Okay. And how are you working with Elizabeth?
The conscious mind will just need to receive fully before the higher self comes through.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell me about the mystery schools or the Elohim?
They're all part of this. They're all part of these teachings. We've come to give them again because it's the time. It's the time for us to return. We return to give the teaching.
Have you been waiting a long time to return?
It seems like a long time from your perspective.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like very long from up here.
So, where do you come from if you're not originally from Earth?
I'm not from this universe either.
Yeah. So who am I speaking with now, just to clarify?
It's like a combination of Elizabeth and the higher self, but the conscious mind needs to be told to recede.
Okay, conscious mind, I want you to recede to the back. I want you to hop in the back seat and let the conscious mind, let the unconscious mind come through. Higher self, come through now and take the front wheel. Let me know once your higher self is here. Bring forward your highest self. Let the conscious mind recede. Am I speaking to Elizabeth's highest self?
I am just adjusting to the body.
Okay. Let me know when you've adjusted. What does it feel like to be in Elizabeth's body?
Annoying.
Oh, really? Tell me why.
Too small.
Okay.
It's too small for me.
Are you used to not having a body?
I have a body, but it is a light body. It is made of light.
Yes, but not a physical body.
No, the physical body here is still very dense. It's still very, very dense.
So, where do you come from?
I am everywhere. But I come from source. But I exist in the central sun area. This is where we primarily reside, in this place. This is the Elohim's home. In this universe we reside here. And in here we are able to go into the other universes as well.
And how do you get from one universe to another?
Through the big tube, the tree of life, we go up, and we see the different universes, and it's like we select with our consciousness which one we want to go into, and then we dive back into that universe.
Interesting. And where you reside in the central sun, what does it look like?
It's very light.
Mm-hmm.
There are different beings here. My guide Arcana is in here as well. Oh, he is here as well. He is existing here simultaneously while he is with me on earth in this body. Hello.
Hello, interesting.
I'm just saying hello to him.
Yeah.
And he's just saying I'm here all the time too. There are lots of angels here. Mm-hmm. Angelic beings and Elohim.
What do they do with their time there?
Well, there are some that are just here for rejuvenation. And we go about there are many, many different things that we busy ourselves with. We are watching over many, many systems in here.
Okay.
This is like the big hub for this universe, for all of the highest beings. It is very busy.
So, do you watch over Earth?
Yes, we always watch Earth at this time. I see we have put a blob of energy around Earth to protect it during this transition point. There is like a nebulous blob that I see around the energy. It looks like this blue sort of color. And we've put this blob around the Earth, a nebulous energy plasma outside of the Earth. And no dark forces can get through or come out.
Beautiful. What else can you tell me about Earth? What do you notice when you watch Earth or work on Earth?
There are many, many angels coming and going.
And what are they doing?
There are too many things to list. There's much busyness occurring at this time. There is much work that we are doing at this time.
Yes. And what is the reason for all this work right now on Earth?
Shit's about to hit the fan.
Okay, can you tell me more about that?
Well, we are not going to give details about exactly what will occur.
Okay.
However, there will be awakening catalysts for humanity to move them over to the ascending timeline, move as quickly as possible over to the ascending timeline. Quickly, we are moving them.
Is that already happening?
Yes, we are moving them, and they are more awakening. I can see they are moving into groups now. One the ascending and then the descending one, and we are trying to migrate as many as possible over to the ascending timelines.
Yeah, I've been noticing more people going towards communities and groups. What can you tell me about the ascending timeline? What does it look like?
We are moving them onto that right now. And we are going to be learning the ways on this timeline. The ways of how it used to be. How it used to be before the fall. The earth was not meant to be like this. It was not meant to be like this. So we are in the process of separating the wheat from the chaff.
Interesting.
It was not meant to be this way. There are many elements that have, if you can imagine a sieve, and we are trying to make sure that the bits that they do not go along with the rest, and we will put the descending ones somewhere else. We need to separate them. We need to separate them because their consciousnesses will be going in different ways.
Okay, interesting. Thank you for telling me that. Is there anything else you want to tell me about the ascending timeline?
Well, it will look very scary for a little while for some people, but it is important not to fall into fear. It is very, very important that we are hurrying along and not falling into fear, not dilly-dallying around. And when we are going into our heart and not going into the lizard brain and worry part, but going instead to this heart coherence feeling, and we are keeping ourselves safe from falling into the places where you do not want to go. So it's very important during this process that we remain detached from whatever is going on before us. And if that means that you have to turn off the TV and switch off your phone if something were to happen, then I would suggest to do so. To switch off your phone. Switch it off and do not look at the news. Do not look at people worry about certain things. Just switch it off and then go into meditation or go into nature and do things and be in your own bubble.
Yeah.
You do not need to worry about all of these other shit. They will try to drag you down, but you do not need to worry about it. The dark ones are screaming and going down. And it's going to happen, it's bound to happen that they will make a big fuss and bother as they go out. But you don't need to be dragged down by this. Just let them scream and bother and be, I guess, do those things that they need to do before they go out. But there is no hope for them. The cycles have turned. We are not going to dilly-dally about anymore.
Yeah. So, what do you think the best way to get these messages out are? How can we get these messages out? How can Elizabeth get these messages out there
She has been doing it through YouTube.
She wants to know what her next step is with that.
Well, we have found some people that would be suitable for her, and they will come into her life in the future. And she does not need to worry about this, about finding someone whose vibration is suitable. She does not need to worry about this because we have located the people who want to work with her, and we will be drawing them to her in order to do this work. It's very important to continue with the teachings.
Yes.
And we will be bringing back the method where we are connecting to Source to remove all of the programming. We will be bringing this back in a practice.
That's beautiful.
A rebirthing, yes. She will be doing rebirthing. Help people be it's like a baptism of sorts. Bring them back to Source. She knows how to do this euphoric energy to connect in, to rise up to this place.
Yes.
And bring this down.
Well, she's done it before in the mystery schools too.
Yes, we developed this. Thoth and I developed this method. It was very, very successful, and we will bring it back again. She does not need to worry about the naysayers when they talk about Thoth. They are coming from a low vibrational place of fear.
Okay.
When they fear, for example, Thoth and his teachings, this is a negative influence that was influencing some people who called themselves light workers to give information. They were influenced negatively with this, so that they strayed from the original ascension teachings. She is correct in her assumption that the Ascension Glossary website is false and does not contain correct information to do with this. She was just concerned about this and about people following this website and disregarding the teachings. But I told her to stay away from this material, this type of material, because it is false to begin with. It has been seeded with the dark agenda, so I have taken her away from this, and we will go forward with the correct teachings from now on.
Okay. And how can she overcome her fear of her own inner powers?
I am just releasing this here for her.
Okay.
She does not need to be afraid of this, because this will be so helpful for her with doing what she needs to do in this life. She has been afraid of being a shining light because they wanted to snuff her out. Other humans wanted to attack and snuff her out. But it's okay. She was bullied as a child a lot. They picked on her and whatnot, because she was very, very bright and they did not understand. So it's okay. I'm just releasing this now. You can feel free to shine.
Yeah, that's beautiful advice. Is Will the guy that her higher self was talking about? She has this question. Yeah?
Yes, it's him. She's found him.
Oh, that's
I
exciting.
knew she would find him, but she was having doubts about herself again.
Yeah.
She did not know if he would come, but I knew that she would figure it out eventually. And she worked with us to bring him in quicker so that he can come into her life at the right time. But it is him. It's him. It's him.
Amazing. Well, she also has questions about painful sex. Is there anything that you can tell her about that?
Yes, she was holding on to so much trauma within the vagina and within the sacral chakra, holding on to so much from my previous time on earth and from other things that occurred. So I'm going to go let that energy from into source and let this come into the body just so she can ease this up. I'm going to heal this within the body so that she can relax. She does not need to clench this anymore.
Yeah.
As long as she doesn't need to do dating with any other man at this time.
Okay.
Will is safe for her. He is safe. She does not need to close herself off to him. She does not need to close him out. So I am just programming the body to let that in. It is safe. It's safe to let it in.
Can you tell me how you're programming the body? What does it look like when you do that?
I'm just imprinting energy into this part of the body, the sexual part.
Yes.
So that it knows it's okay. I'm communicating with it to tell it that it's okay, that it can let Will in. Will is safe. She does not need to close him out.
Yes.
It is not necessary for this. He will grow frustrated if she continues to do this.
Right.
And she very much wants to be with him as well. And she will grow frustrated with herself if she closes him up. So I'm just doing that now so that she can loosen up in this area. She does not need to protect herself from this one.
Yeah.
He is safe. He is safe and loving. I have known him before. So I'm just releasing this out now. The body needs to feel safe and loved.
Yes.
And it's going to be safe and loved. I'm telling it, it's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. She also wants to heal her solar plexus, so would that help too with healing it? Is that?
Yes, this has mostly been healed already, but
okay.
there was just residue from the worry that she carries. Just get rid of this.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, can I ask a few more questions?
Yes, this is okay.
Okay, thank you. So, Elizabeth has some intrusive thoughts that she wants to heal. Is this her shadow self coming through?
Yes, it is remnants of the shadow self coming through, because she is very, very much connected with her multi-dimensional selves that exist all at once. And I am very, very old, you see, and very, very, very long ago, far, far long ago in previous universes, before I became an Elohim, I was a dark being, and this is how I learned how to be light. So I am many universes old, more than she thinks, and in a few previous ones I was very dark, and she is very connected in with the multi-dimensional selves, even in the other universes that existed before this one. So she had there is some in the memory, some of that is filtering through. But this will not bother you in any way. This will not bother you going forward. You do not need to worry about this. This has all been balanced and healed already. Many, many universes previously, this has been balanced and healed. This does not need to affect her anymore. But because of, I guess, the dimensional filters and lag when you get into this dimension, that is where the confusement is coming from. Because she is bringing in these very high vibrational energies from the multi-dimensional selves that existed in all of these universes, and she's bringing them in now. But this gets very confused sometimes, but she does a good job now of filtering it out. She is much better than she was before at filtering.
Very good.
So I'm just providing more filter for her to filter out these selves, these aspects of self. Because they always exist. However, they are fully integrated with love and they are forgiven. They do not need to bother her anymore.
Okay, beautiful. Is there anything that you can say about the Anunnaki and the Elohim removing ETs from Earth? What is the truth of that story?
So she did not come directly in previous times, but there was the time that you mentioned about the reptilians coming into Atlantis.
Yes.
And these were the first, what you would call Anunnaki.
Okay.
So like the negative ones that, well, the memories of them, this is very, very much confused in humanity now. So they confuse these various negative extraterrestrials that came at various times during the history of the earth. They do confuse this with the Elohim. They confuse this and mix the two. And also with the confusement, there has been negative seeding in with this to switch the roles. So, the good ones appear bad and the bad ones appear good.
Okay.
So there has been a switching. This is what they like to do. They always like to do this.
Is this
Humanity thinks that it knows the truth, but it does not know the truth at all. It has been... They think the conspiracy theorists, they go on and they think, oh, I've got it, I've gone down the rabbit hole. No, you have gone into a dead end because you have dived down a fear-based hole that was designed to trick you it was designed to trick and manipulate you. So no, humanity does not, as of now, know anything real to do with the Anunnaki. Some know deep within themselves, and I am bringing it forth. But I want people to know that the information about Anunnaki on this one, on that one, most of it is baloney. Most of it is complete baloney, because if humans actually knew what really happened, they would be uplifted in their consciousness, and they don't want that to happen. They want them to be brought away from Source. So they set all of these false leads in place to take people on a wild goose chase. And then they do not know the real information. But we are bringing this forth. So on the ascending timelines, everything will be uncovered eventually.
Okay.
On the ascending timelines.
Yes.
All of the bullshit is going to the different timeline, the descending timeline.
Yes. What is the best way we can discern between truth and bullshit?
Well, you need to be very, very strong within the self. You need to know what is your energy and what is not your energy. You need to know through these careful processes of discernment within, going within, first and foremost, into the heart, into the inner universe, and familiarizing yourself with the inner universe, and then learning how to feel energy. It's going to be a gradual process. Learning how to feel energy, learning how to feel energy signatures from each other. It is just about practice. You can discern, from example, the energy of your mother versus your father. You can discern this already, so if you close your eyes, for example, and your mother appears before you, you can discern your energy, her energy, from example, your father. They both have different sorts of energy. When you close your eyes, you feel with your heart. You feel, because the heart has its own field and its own toroidal field, and you can feel around with this field and discern for yourself who it is that you are speaking to. You can discern with this field. The heart is an incredible force. There is the physical heart, and then there is the spiritual heart, or the energy body heart. And you will need to discern with this energy body heart.
That's really good advice. I love that. Thank you. Why is Elizabeth more protected?
She is more protected because we could not have this information going astray. We could not have her like the others that were sent with a specific mission, and then they went down a wild goose chase and ended up on the Dark One's lap.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We cannot have her to be influenced by the fear vibration and consciousness and to fall into fear with the others. It just will not work. So we have been guiding her away from this and into this love consciousness where she can do the teachings. And my family, my soul family, are very, very connected and in love with her. They love her very, very much, and they will not let her go astray to the dark timelines. They will not let her do that. Not dark, but they are descending. That was the wrong word. Okay. They are descending, and they are not going to let her go this way. They are going to be very, very strict with, you need to go this way. We want you to do this, but this is for her better good. This is not to do with control, because I want to do this. I am her higher self, and I want to go this way. And the conscious mind programming of humanity gets looped into a fear vibration, and it loops into a vicious cycle. And we did not want this to occur. We did not want to be led astray by these traps that they put in place for all of the humans.
Yes. Very good, thank you. Can we explore the memory of Elizabeth assisting human women when they would call out to her for help?
Yes. I was giving this information to her to help her recognize what energy was going on in the sacral chakra of her when she integrated with this body the memories of what my memories were that happened to human women on this earth, integrated with her. And I was assisting women. I was assisting human women when they would call out for me, and they would call out to be helped by me. There was men that would hurt them, and then they would call out to me for protection. And sometimes I witnessed things that were very, very sad, as I was called, as my beingness was called. They called out to me Astarte or Artemis. They called out these names to me, and my name is Lumina, but I respond to these names. I have many names, and I responded to being called at this moment. There was a woman in ancient Greece that was being raped and killed in the field, and she called out to me. She called out Artemis, my name, one of my names. She called out to me to help her, and I could not intervene physically. However, I was allowed, her higher self called out to me too, and I was allowed to pull her soul out of the body at that time, so she would not have to endure what happened next. They started to cut her and rape her. So I pulled her out of the body to spare her from what was going to happen next. And we just stayed and watched as what happened to her body occurred. And I cradled her from any pain, so it was painless for her. And so then we went back to Source. I took her back to Source to heal her. It was time. We went to the central sun. We went to the Source through here. And I was able to give assistance to her to deal with this dark and heavy lifetime. And I have done the same for many, many, many people, not only women. Mostly it was women that called to me, but also it was men. When they ravaged the temples of Astarte, the beingness that they called for me, they called this being that is my beingness, they called it by the name of Astarte as well as other names, and in different places they called to me as tragedies were occurring, and I came when they called to me. I was always there assisting on earth, even though I was no longer assisting in a physical body anymore like long, long ago. I came at different times to assist with helping humans. I was helping the women and the children at different times, and I came to the temple when they called out, because there was a group that came into the temple and started murdering the priests and priestesses, and they called out to me in help. And I remember this bit as well. She remembers this. This memory was delivered to her to help her understand this issue with the sacral chakra. And they killed these priests and priestesses. They held them up by the hair and scalped them, and they just left them dead in here. But I pulled them out of the body. I came and I grabbed them and started pulling them, their souls, out of the body, so they wouldn't have to experience the rest of it. So
wow.
I collected them up, and again I took them back to source. These souls, I took them back to source to be healed.
Very, very interesting.
Lifetime. So I was doing this, and to the little ones that were killed in these rituals, in the satanic rituals.
Yes.
I came in, and I came over the little ones, and I pulled them out of the body very quickly. I pulled them out of the body before they could start chopping them up and doing various horrible things while they were still alive. I quickly pulled them out.
Wow.
So I was doing this, and I have had to pull many beings out of, many souls out of bodies, as they call out for assistance to the divine mothers, which the Elohim females, the women are part of the divine mother, part of the aspect of Mother God, the Holy Spirit, as they call out to us. Sometimes me or my sisters will come, and we will pull the children's souls out of the bodies before things happen to them, so that they are spared.
Wow, that's very interesting.
So we were doing all of these, and we act on the guidance of Source. We are representatives of Source, the feminine silent watchers and feminine Elohim. We are feminine representatives of Source energy. So Aphrodite, what I was known as Artemis, all of us, Hera, all of them, all of the sisters, all of the goddesses, we are part of this. We are the hand of the Mother.
Beautiful. So Elizabeth just has a few more questions on healing. She wants to know if you can heal her UTI.
Yes. I'm healing this.
Perfect.
The sacral chakra was irritated by this and decided to bring up more problems, but
okay.
we are cleaning this. The memories of what happened to the women and the children on earth went into her sacral chakra from all of the things that I had witnessed as helping the souls on earth, being part of the Elohim cleanup crew for helping.
Right, that's really interesting. So does she help heal that trauma through her body?
Yes, I'm just letting it go for her. She does not need to take these on.
Okay.
She had taken on her own. I had taken on my own issues to do with this when I came to Earth the last time. So I am just letting this go. She does not need to take on the sexual assault and hurts of the collective.
Okay, beautiful. And can you also
taking this away.
Can you also heal her PCOS?
Yes, this is mostly healed already. She does not need to deal with this or dwell on this anymore. And I am just activating it so that she does not have to deal with this anymore. Beautiful. Bringing in the source energy to heal the UTI.
Yes, beautiful.
And the rest of the PCOS. She does not have to deal with this anymore.
And while you're at it, can you also heal her lack of energy and her spinal problems?
Yes, this is happening as we speak through the body and straightening. I'm going to straighten the spine now. So she does not need to go to the chiropractor because she does not like the way the chiropractor practices anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't want to go back to the chiropractor.
And what else was it that I was going to heal?
So she has some lack of energy.
A lack of energy. Yes. This is because some of the negative energies really messed with her field. So I'm just putting these in place so that she does not need to dwell on this anymore. She can rise up, and there is just some energy in the solar plexus that I'm giving this to.
Okay, beautiful. I know she'll really appreciate that.
Because the cells were being affected negatively by the vibration of this earth. She was like glitching. We were trying to help her DNA to be upgraded majorly, but there was some push and pull with the negativity on the earth. There was some push and pull with trying to upgrade her body. So that is why she feels very, very tired when she is receiving much upgrades. And in this time, she just needs to rest and to let them integrate into the body, and maybe to take a walk to integrate it, or to take a bath, because she integrates this much more when she is in the water.
Okay, beautiful. Is there anything else she needs to heal?
I'm just doing a scan on the body.
Okay, thank you.
And there's just a small irritation and tear in the vagina. We are healing that now.
Okay.
She was a little bit too, because it was quite tight down there, she tried to force it in.
Yes.
And this did not go very well. So of course the body has been told to let in, to allow the sex to come in.
Yeah.
But She just wanted to force it in when the body was not ready. But the body should have been ready, but it was still holding on to something. So this was not necessary.
Okay.
So I'm just healing this now.
Okay,
Just
awesome.
healing this now, so this can all be healed up.
Perfect.
And she will be feeling more flexible throughout this area. So she does not need to worry about the wheel's size. She does not need to worry about this. She can let it in. She can let it in.
Beautiful. And is there anything else you would like to say before we close the session today?
I want to just spend some time to activate further.
Okay, beautiful.
Activating the body and allowing this to come through.
Let me know what you're doing.
About the dream that she had in relation to the Dharma. She does not need to worry about this in particular. She is already on the right path. It was just a reminder to not fall into traps of negativity. The right path would be to not bitch about things or bitch behind someone's back, for example. To just drift away from this. This is just a reminder to drift away from these types of behaviors. Bitchiness and so forth. She does not need to be doing this anymore.
Yes.
This was a remnant of when she was bullied in the past. She feels like she has to protect herself. But I will let this go and let this go. So she does not need to fall into negativity traps anymore. And to do with the mother, sometimes the mother can unload some negative energy onto her. So I'm just letting this go. Her mother sometimes is bitching about her partner to her.
Okay.
And so I'm putting a shield up so she does not absorb any more energy from the mother doing any of this. So the mother will have her own awakening moments where she will move forward into more her higher self too. Elizabeth is much, much, much further ahead than others. So she does not need to be drawn back into bitchiness and bitchy conversations. This would not be very helpful. So it was just a reminder from me not to dwell in bitchiness. We have come to earth to be loving, not to be a bitch.
Yes. Yeah, that's good advice. Is there anything else you'd like to tell Elizabeth today? Or are we complete?
I would like the next session she does for the online on YouTube. We are going to start to do the teachings more and more. To do with the mystery school teachings. This will be on YouTube.
Yes.
She will do it. And she will make it into a book. That is why she is still gathering information. she's still in the process of gathering information, because first we need to tell the history of the earth and what really has taken place. And then we need to give the teachings of how to do the various ascension ways. So there will be two parts to this. One will be teachings and two will be history.
Beautiful. That sounds really good.
And so the people who are listening to her YouTubes are getting activated too, because not only do the sessions, they contain teachings and history, but they also contain activations for them. She must continue with this and make them available on YouTube for free, but also she must do it in a book. She must put it into a book. More than one book will be required.
Yes.
And then she will have to do a course for people who want to learn more mystery teachings. She will know, the Elohim, the Council of Elohim, wants this very much, to do a course. It will be very much like the mystery schools, but it will be online. And she is right in her assumption that it must be made relatively inexpensive so that more people can have access to it. And she does not need to worry about abundance. She will be a teacher again and teaching the ways, and people will come. They will come to learn the ways again, as they used to when I was on earth the last time.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you for all that knowledge. I know Elizabeth is definitely going to appreciate it. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we end the session? Or are we complete?
We are complete for this time.
Okay, beautiful. So now I'm just going to ask for the subconscious to recede where it belongs.